By the way, I'm drinking a Loverboy energy drink.
What are you
Ooh.
drinking? You're,
So Loverboy, we did a collab. It's called Loverboy with Amino Lean. It's an energy beverage,
oh,
but it's our Loverboy kind of tea flavor.
Ooh.
gotcha.
So that's something I drink a fair amount, actually. The energy
Oh,
it's only sold online, but it's really tasty.
oh, is that the one with the cannabis in it?
No, that's
No.
Flower Boy, and that's a separate.
Flower Boy, that's right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll edit this part out.
Well,
But
we can do it. I can answer any questions you want, so I'm ready
whatever.
whenever.
So we're gonna start here. Jamie's gonna kick it off and do the hostess thing. So just Jamie, whenever you're ready.
Okie doke. All right, so welcome everyone. We're super excited to welcome Carl Radke, owner of SoftBar Cafe, star of Bravo's hit show Summer House, and an inspiration to a lot of us all in the group. Carl has been a fan favorite since the very first season, and over the years, we've really watched him grow in so many different ways between his relationships, his career, and especially his personal growth. From navigating his Hamptons life to opening up about his sobriety and everything in between, he's really shown us what it truly means to face challenges head on and come out stronger on the other side. We are so excited to have you here, Carl, and to kind of learn more about you on a personal level and just catch up on how things have been. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Jamie. That was I don't know who wrote that, but they deserve an Emmy or a Pulitzer Prize. Or
Thank you.
Jamie, Jamie GPT.
Yeah. Well, I edited out the part about our Ravens and Steelers playing
oh,
on Saturday, so I'm glad we're doing this before Saturday.
yes, I
Oh,
know. It's such a good rivalry, and I
The best.
I'm one of the few NFL fans where I'm a lot more like it's all love. I
Yep.
actually respect Baltimore. I think Lamar's awesome, but it's funny now as like I'm as I'm gotten older, I just the people, F the Steelers, screw the, and it's like I don't care, man. I
I
love
know.
the Steelers, but I'm not. I just want to have fun.
Yeah, it's fun to mess with each other. My best friend's a Steelers fan, so it's
It's
fun.
gonna be it's gonna be a good game. I actually got invited to go down there Saturday, but
Oh, fun.
I don't think I'm gonna make the trek. It would be like a down there, go to the game, and then come back, and that's a long, long day. So
I do that every year with my dad, so M&T Stadium's amazing.
it's a
It's
cool
really
spot. I
fun.
was at the game last year in Baltimore, but you
Oh,
guys had
wow.
already made clinched the playoffs, so you didn't really play all of your starters.
Right,
So we won, but it wasn't your full
right.
squad. So anyway.
Yeah.
But no,
Um,
thank you for having me. I'm obviously, I've heard a lot about the Facebook group, and I know I think I've seen you on social at
mhm.
times, maybe pop up a little bit, but yeah, I'm honored to be here. I love our Bravo fan base. I love our Summer House fans. Obviously proud of being a part of this program. I mean, we're now in season number 9,
that's
so
crazy.
the
Awesome.
trailer just dropped today, which is kind of exciting. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, Jamie messaged me that. I said, I haven't had internet for 3 days, so I don't even know, but at least we got this show done.
Hey,
So
I think
before
the internet's coming through perfectly
Yeah.
clear. You're great,
I know,
Lisa.
cross the fingers. Before we get started, Carl, I wanted to just let the group know that this is being where I will have it posted on my YouTube channel. You can watch it up there. I'll post it in the groups also. And thank you, Carl, for coming. This is our first what we're calling our BravoCon Spotlight live show. So our focus or our goal is to focus on Carl and asking him a few questions about his life and his stuff, and then BravoCon because we're all BravoCon fans too, so that's really important that we find out what Carl thought of BravoCon. And then we got some people in the waiting room who will ask a question also. So thank you, Carl.
Oh, thank you.
All
It's good
right,
to be
Jamie, where do you want to start? Do you want to start with some of your questions? Should we tackle mine first or the folks in the queue?
Well, maybe it'll be good to start out with updates about your soft bar and
Okay.
cafe. Um,
sure.
any updates you could give us, how the renovations are going, how all the planning's going?
Yeah, I mean it's going. SoftBar, we've been really hard at work for it's almost a year that I've like partnered with my co-founder and like really put this together in the right way. So we have our location. It's in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. I don't want to give away too much, but it's a really, really cool space. And it is it is going to take a couple months to get ourselves built and properly set up. But it's still, I mean, I'm so excited. But yeah, SoftBar's, a mindful consumption bar and cafe. So what we're going to serve is premium coffee, but also alternative coffees. There's a lot of development in like mushroom coffee, but not psychedelic, healthy mushrooms.
Yep.
And then like matchas, turmeric lattes, cacao. I actually don't drink coffee at all.
Wow.
I don't wake up in the morning and I'm ready to go.
Wow.
But I also have been looking for other options to stay focused or to be calm or to be like, you know, a vibe. So we are going to be serving premium coffee, but also these functional drinks
Oh,
in
nice.
addition to what we call soft cocktails. Soft cocktails are just a premium non-alcoholic drink. A lot of us might know them as a mocktail.
Mhm.
However, I hate that word. We're not making fun of anything at SoftBar. It's all very intentional. It's all very premium. So yeah, the whole idea was to create a space where you can come morning, afternoon, or evening and
Hmm,
enjoy amazing beverages, all without the influence of alcohol.
nice.
So this is not a sober bar. I know I'm sober and don't drink and etc. But what I wanted to do here with SoftBar is create a space for everyone. Not every single person is comfortable saying I'm an alcoholic or I can't drink,
Yep.
Yeah.
but we wanted to be accessible for everybody. So
Mm.
interestingly enough, like I won't bore you too much on the data, but 94% of sales of non-alcoholic products, whether it's at a store or at a bar or wherever, are purchased by people that still drink alcohol.
Hmm.
94%. So it's important when you're looking at the numbers and building a business,
Yeah.
we want it to be accessible for everyone. Sure, I could have just opened Carl's Sobar
Hmm.
or something, but that's not what I
Right.
wanted. I wanted this to be for the people that are maybe pregnant and just taking a break.
Right.
The guy who maybe has inflammation or a dietary situation, he just needs a couple nights off.
Yeah.
It's your friend who's maybe running the marathon. It's a variety of reasons why people aren't drinking.
I know.
It's not just the guy like myself who, I'm an alcoholic. I cannot drink. I can't drink to stay alive. Like that's how. But with Soft Bar, it was all about just making this for everyone. So
So the biggest question is, Carl, are you going to can it and sell it at BravoCon in 2025?
great question. What I'd like to do is we would like to just serve, like have a little soft bar at BravoCon.
Yeah.
That would
But I've learned a lot about products. Kyle, Amanda, and myself, we
Yeah.
have been lucky with what we've built with Loverboy. Kyle and Amanda have done an amazing
Mhm.
job. I've learned a lot about product. Product is cool. Product is sexy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Product is
It
really
is.
hard.
Merch. Merch sells at BravoCon. I've been seeing the merch on your Instagram too, by the way. And I
Mhm.
happen to be looking for a space for at BravoCon to share with someone so I can sign some book.
Okay.
I'm
Well,
really going.
I haven't even gotten the formal invite for BravoCon yet for
Oh,
next
you
year.
will.
We'll see if I make the cut. I
Me
didn't get
neither,
the
but I'm
invite.
going.
I didn't get the invite to Miami, so I'm not sure. I don't
I
know if I'll
saw
be invited.
Kyle. Kyle and I had a lot of fun. Oh yeah. All right, cool. Well, you know what? If that's all right, or sorry, if that's what you want to cover with that, I can move on to a few more questions. Or Jamie, did you want to ask any more of yours? I wasn't sure.
No, that really covered it. And it sounds like it's going to be a really cool, inclusive new place that I think is going to be awesome for the city and just
Yeah, I
really,
mean, I have one of our like little cards. So you see some of our branding,
Oh,
that's so
cute.
cool.
I'm
but our
happy to
our
host a meetup
slogan,
too. I'm sorry.
what's that?
Host a meetup there for our group.
Absolutely. When we open our
Mhm.
doors, we're going to have all sorts of events, program, just a meeting place. But I was
Awesome.
just going to read you, I'll leave you with this about Softbar and then we can
Okay.
move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Welcome to Softbar, a first of its kind destination for mindful consumption, where we offer an inclusive culture of well-being and connection that inspires people to live present and vibrant lives. So
Hmm.
that's kind of like a little,
Love that.
Mission statement.
exactly.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice. It's fun being a business owner, Carl.
It's fun, but it's stressful. It's exciting.
I
I wouldn't
know.
want it any other way, but you know, I'd rather be doing this than anything else, but it's definitely I'm learning a ton, and
Oh yeah.
obviously it's not for the faint of heart. Opening a four-wall
Oh,
business in New
Yeah.
York
oh
City
no.
or in Brooklyn is very challenging.
Yeah.
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 And you already know the bar side of it, and you know the sales side of it, so you're in a good position for owning that. That's great.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think if
exciting. I've been
anybody's
seeing
going to
your
do it,
merch. Sorry?
if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be me, just because of my story and what I've shared and my experience with
Yeah.
not only the Boy brand, but just in sales. And
Yeah.
then as a consumer, being out, I haven't had a drink in almost 4 years. So
Amazing.
Wow.
it's been pretty amazing, but I'm social. I go out, and
Yeah.
more often than not, I'm drinking this at a party.
Yeah.
Mhm.
'Cause that's
Yeah.
all there is.
Yeah, I know. Well, you'll can it. You'll sell it. It'll be in the stores.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Well, soft can or something. That's funny.
Yeah, we're looking at some different ideas, but what we wanted to create was you come here first to experience it,
Hmm.
and we can
Yeah.
listen to what our consumers are asking for. I've seen
Oh yeah.
an example is like you'll see like a really high-end Italian restaurant like start selling their red pasta sauce like after
Hmm.
their
Right.
like, but they didn't just launch as a red pasta sauce first.
Right.
All right.
So
Oh,
we're
that's
kind
how
of
a lot of it starts.
Yeah. Are you gonna do like seasonal, like are you gonna have specific cocktails? Is it gonna be kind of like create your own? Like what kind of drink menus are you kind of looking at? Like different seasons?
yeah, I think we'll have some like staple items that you can always find on our menu.
Mhm.
We're working through like how many items, we want to keep. I think a lot of what I'm doing, there is some education required. There is a lot of learning. Um, some of the ingredients, some of the products that we use, people might not be familiar with.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So we're trying to put something together where it's really easy to understand, and what we talk about
Kill
is
book.
like,
You
yeah,
need the book.
Yeah.
we do actually. That's a good idea. We've been talking about, I want to do a coffee table book.
You do.
Yes.
You
Um,
do. With all the recipes.
yeah. So like, I think with like what we're building on the menu would be our soft cocktails.
Mhm.
And again, a soft cocktail is just a premium non-alc cocktail. What we're also including is these functional benefits like those mushrooms or electrolytes.
Mhm.
So you could potentially, like, if you wanted to come in, you'd order a soft spritz. But let's say, Jamie, you had a big meeting in an hour.
Mhm.
He could give you some focus, which is some ingredients we would add on top of that.
Oh.
Very cool.
Let's say you came in and it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon and you didn't want a coffee, but you wanted maybe something warm or like an alternative to maybe chill you out. You had a rough day. We have that. So regardless of what you're coming in at, we've got something for you, whether it's a really nice coffee product or a soft cocktail and or ready to drink non-alcoholic can. So Loverboy non-alcoholic is on our menu. I'm very proud of that.
I was gonna ask that too. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That is.
Kyle's an investor.
Oh,
So
Oh, that's
that's
great.
cute. That's
yeah, I
cute.
mean, I invested in him, and then I wasn't the first person to tell Kyle it was a great idea, but I was like number two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. We were talking about twisted tea. We were talking about how many grams of sugar are in a
Yeah.
twisted tea. And he kept going, dude, like, why isn't there a healthier version of this?
Hmm.
Right.
There was not a zero sugar,
Wow.
low calorie, hard tea on the market at
Right.
that was 2017.
Wow.
And when
Wow.
Kyle brought the idea to me in 2018, he invested his own dollars. And by 2019, he started raising money. We then launched it on the show in July of 2019. But I
Wow.
Amazing.
invested and then started kind of
Yeah.
contributing to the team. But yeah, Kyle like was very excited for me, and to have
Oh,
his support on this is massive. And like,
Love
you
that.
know, he's obviously very, very intelligent and knows a lot, but also just we're best friends. Like it's great to
right.
have your buddy kind of, helping
Yeah.
out a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun when it's real friends.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
we're
cute.
legit real friends. Like that's what's so fun about me and him is we have such a great friendship and chemistry. Um, it's just fun. Like yesterday we did a program with Total Wine. So Total
Okay.
Wine is a large retailer of our Loverboy products.
Okay.
Total Wine, they have numerous locations throughout the US. I mean, they have some in New Jersey, they have some in Florida. It's called an end cap. An
Yeah.
end cap is like at a grocery store. It's like a big advertisement with the shelf. Kyle and I are on an end cap at
Oh,
Total Wine in Arizona.
Oh, how cool.
And I messaged him yesterday. I'm like, dude, we're on an end cap at a grocery store. Look,
oh, that's funny.
Amazing.
I mean,
You know what? They just
this is on my Instagram and ours. So
oh
Oh my
they
God,
just
that's
put the Total
awesome.
Wine in my store, so I'll go down there and look to see if you guys are on the end
yeah,
cap
so it's
there.
just like hilarious. Him and I are on, on this like
That's amazing.
billboard inside of a retail store, and it's
Yeah.
for the alcoholic lover boy, which coming up to
Oh, funny.
January, we're trying to promote, the dry January moment with our NA products.
So you
Awesome.
think non-Bravo people are gonna go, look at those two handsome guys selling that.
Probably not. They might say that to Kyle, but not definitely not me. They're probably like, look at this big-eared, weirdo-looking human being.
Oh my gosh.
That's cute.
I'm just restating what I get on my social media back.
Right, exactly.
I just think
That's
it's
right.
I just saw a comment recently. It was like, who casted the men on this Summer House show? They're not good-looking guys. I'm like, that's not why we were casted. We were casted because of our personality and our
Right.
friendship.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
This
right.
is not like America's Next Top Model. This is regular people having a good time. We had a great group of friends.
Yeah.
So I,
Yeah.
I I just think because I'm not a model, I never had like I've been a model early in my life, but not like an Andrea or
Right.
a Luke. They like get paid to be hot.
Yeah.
Luke gave me 3 hugs at BravoCon.
Well,
He owes you
I'm
another one.
I'm from Minnesota, so we have
there
that
you
connection.
go.
It
I
was
love Luke's.
cute.
I saw Luke's birthday's coming up. He had some friends get together. I wasn't able to join, but we're still good friends. We talk a lot, obviously.
Oh,
Oh, that's
he's so cute.
awesome.
He's so nice too.
Him and
Yeah.
Andrea, just really quality people, like just
Yeah.
genuine. Like Andrea loved Luke too. Don't get me wrong, but Andrea is even like a step up of just so genuine, so
Yeah.
kind. You would never think that out of a guy who was in Taylor Swift's Blank Space video, her
Yeah.
most
Yes.
watched video of all time,
Yeah.
billions of views. Andrea is hot guy number 2 in that music video.
I remember finding that going, is that? I think we had a big chat about it in the BravoCon group.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Nothing gets
Andrea.
past us. Nothing gets past our group. We're all
I mean,
FBI
that doesn't get any
agents.
more absurd than that. Taylor Swift and
Yep.
Andrea Were in the Blank Space music video.
That's
Every day when
crazy.
I drive to work, he's on an advertisement for a bridal shop. I wave to him every day.
I bet he's like fixing his cufflinks like a.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I
That's
love
like,
Andrea. We were at his wedding this past June in Italy, which
Oh,
was
that was
amazing.
beautiful. Yeah.
I went out there, and obviously Kyle and Amanda, a few others you would recognize were all there. So it was a
yeah. I
fun
think I
little
remember
weekend.
seeing that on the
Nice.
socials.
Yeah.
Yep. So he
Yeah.
married Lexi, which was amazing. It was a
Love
beautiful
that.
ceremony. I mean, he's from Verona, Italy, which is
Oh yeah.
more central, kind of west of Venice.
Mm-hmm.
It's north of Florence, but west of Venice. But it's a really beautiful city, and
Oh,
that's where he grew up.
Wow.
well, it sure sounds like it still. I like his
If you,
accent.
if you have Netflix, I urge you to check out the movie. It's a romantic comedy called Love in the Villa. It was very
Oh,
popular. They filmed it in Verona, Italy, which is where Romeo
Oh,
and
cool.
Juliet it
oh,
takes place. That's where the backdrop of the actual story of Romeo and Juliet is
that's
in.
cute.
Cool.
So if you watch the movie, it's like a love letter to Verona, and it's a funny rom-com, but it's filmed in Verona, and it'll paint a picture of where Andrea is from.
Oh, awesome.
Noted.
Yeah,
I'll put it on my list.
Yeah,
Yep.
and for all the people that
For
are
all
listening,
Yes.
the holidays.
Yeah.
Nice little love story.
exactly.
All right. Are you ready to move in? Jimmy, do you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Now I'm going to ask some questions about BravoCon specifically. And feel free to answer however you feel, honestly, if you like. So, what was it like attending the first BravoCon? Because that was in 19. I'm assuming you
Yep.
went because Summer
Oh
House
yeah.
was in its third season.
I was there. Kyle and I were there. It was Kyle, me, Lindsay, Paige, Amanda, Jules, I believe, Hannah, and Luke. So it was the first 2019 was it wasn't even at the Javits Center. It was at like a smaller
Right.
venue
Yeah.
in like the West Side. But
Yeah.
I'll never forget they had that bazaar where you could sell your products and your
Yeah.
shirts and your merch. Kyle and I set up a Loverboy station. We had some of our team members, but Kyle and I worked when we weren't supposed to be on a stage or doing an interview. We were at the booth
Yeah.
the entire time.
Hustling.
But what we learned and the power of the fans and the power of the audience, we gave back as much as we could by staying there, interacting, taking, and we learned we're like, okay, this is how you got it. Like this is what matters. Like this
Yeah.
is where we should spend our time. And funny enough, we were able to get Loverboy right when we launched in July that fall. We had Loverboy for sale at that BravoCon.
Nice.
So if you were at the 2019 BravoCon, you drank our original Loverboys that were brought to market. So
People posted about it. I couldn't go that year. I got hurt, and that was so unfortunate, but I got to run the group from home. So it was like an online experience, which was
that's
still
awesome.
amazing. Um, so I saw every single picture. It was just me running it by myself then. We only had 4,000 people in the group. It was just, and actually, I take that back. I think there was only 2,000. It was really small, but it was so mighty. We were just, there was
That's
hundreds of,
gotta start somewhere.
yeah, kind of like you guys that year. You were just starting out, and that was us too.
Yep. No,
So,
yeah.
I mean,
2019 was awesome. I mean, I think we were all kind of learning what
yeah,
BravoCon was. They were working out some kinks, figuring out
yeah,
how to. But no, I mean, I was still drinking back then, and I
yeah.
actually got really really drunk like every night after all the events. Um, the last day I was like done just because I was so tired,
Yeah.
so tapped. But
Yeah.
that I got sober, and I've had a couple BravoCons now under my belt where I have
Oh,
really had
good.
a good experience, but I'm not drinking, so it's been good too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot to drink. If you drink, man, the day just goes by and you can just keep drinking all day. And I put in my book, just don't order doubles, okay? No need. I had a double once and it wasn't worth it in my opinion. I should have just had a regular. Someone bought me a double. I don't normally drink doubles, but yeah, just drink slow all day and you're probably better off if you're gonna.
For
Yeah,
sure.
it's a long day. So do you have any Bravo Labs that you were looking forward to meeting at any of the Bravo cons, just from another show that you watched or saw them on Insta or whatever?
Um, I mean, there's always, I mean, I'd say in the last year at the BravoCon, I was excited to meet some of the Salt Lake City
Oh,
housewives
yeah.
because I'd met Heather Gay back in 2020. I was asked to be on an episode of Watch What Happens Live
Yeah.
as a doorbell surprise. And Heather was on the show for that particular night. But during the segment, I like the doorbell rings and I just pop up. So I met Heather then, but I never met anybody else. So I had started
Oh,
a little bit of Salt Lake because of, I mean, was very
yeah.
polarizing and very popular, but I started just to watch and I was actually looking forward to meeting some of the ladies.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I actually met Monica last year.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't know the reality Von Teese stuff had not transpired at all.
You know about all that.
That's crazy.
Me and Monica were in like a green room, and I'm just like, oh, she was very nice. I mean, she's attractive and seemingly
Mhm.
very normal, but you know,
She
everybody
was
has.
taking notes.
But
That's funny.
who else? I'm trying to think. I mean, I always love running into just my like more of my cohort of colleagues, like
Right.
Shep or Austin or Craig or even the boys on the West Coast. I mean,
Right.
our very first episode of Summer House is a Vanderpump Rules crossover episode. So
Yep.
the first
I
time
remember
I'd
that.
ever been on Bravo TV was a Vanderpump Rules episode that then spent into a Summer House. But we've been integrated with their group from day one. I've
Yeah.
always had a nice friendship with Sheena. I've always
Oh,
had a good friendship with Schwartz. Sure, I know Sandoval and Kennedy. I'm not going to even mention anything about those two at this point.
right.
I hope they're taking care of themselves and doing some work.
Mhm.
But
Right.
yeah, I mean, I always enjoy meeting those guys and catching up with
Yeah.
more of my age. But then outside of that, I mean, Andy's always the best to see. I love Andy.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
anytime you get to hang with Andy or be on his show, that's when I'm
right.
like, okay, this is why it's awesome to be Bravo. Like you get to be a part of some
Right.
really cool things. And I have no business being in half of these situations, so I'm always just kind of pinching myself, like, how
It's
did I get?
happening.
Yeah.
That's I know. That's how I feel every time I go to an event or something, and I'm just like, it just has all this amazing experience. Then you go home and you're like, oh, now I'm home.
Yeah.
Now you're back to your normal life and there's nobody around.
Hmm.
Goes back to normal.
So, what advice would you have for a new Bravo Lab attending BravoCon? Because I met a bunch of the people of the Valley, and they don't know what's going to happen to them at BravoCon. And I met them on our LA trip, and I said, "Well, I might have to give you guys a little training on what I would do because
Hmm.
I know a lot about it. What about
Yeah,
you?"
I mean, remember a couple key things. The people that are coming have spent a lot of money and a lot of time and their own, resources. They've committed a lot of financial to this particular event. So it's important to be as friendly and hospitable with every person you can be. I'm telling you, like it pays dividends when you're just like you try, give everything you have to the fans every moment you can
Yeah,
because they will return the favor. The love and support that I got last year in the fall after a very difficult situation that was very public, but the audience hadn't seen anything that happened.
yeah,
So, I was booed at the one panel. I heard it. I got sent videos of people booing, but every person that came up to me last year was nothing but sweet, kind, friendly. And it was I was worried people were going to throw tomatoes at me as soon as I walked into
oh,
the Caesar's Palace. But it was it was amazing to see how many amazing fans are out there and how
yeah,
cool and generous and kind. So I'd say to
mhm,
any new Valley people, like give your energy and time to the people that are coming to see you. That's
yeah,
why you're there. Don't be fucking off at the casino till 4 in the morning. You
Hmm.
are there to interact and enjoy these people that are spending
yeah,
all and coming here to support us.
Hmm.
So
yeah,
that's what I would say. Number two, I'd say watch your drinking. um,
yeah. That's
I think
everybody.
Lisa had a good point. Only do singles, no doubles, and
Hmm.
maybe moderate a little bit. Maybe next BravoCon we'll get some Loverboy non-alcoholic drinks there, so people can moderate or
Exactly.
Yeah.
switch them out.
I wouldn't have known having one drink if one had booze or not at that point after the day drinking. And I write about the drinking in my book. It's in
Yeah.
there because it's a part of it. It's an
Totally.
experience.
Totally.
So,
So I'd say third, and this is just a little more fun. I
okay.
dress up, have fun with your clothes. I always thought BravoCon, I always like would get interesting outfits. I'd try different stuff.
Yeah.
Could dress as someone who doesn't drink alcohol, is sober, doesn't I want like the way I can express myself now in a fun way is how I dress.
Right.
Yeah.
And especially at a BravoCon event, you can throw on a cool suit or you can throw on some fun pants. So I think that when you're dressed up and feeling good, that's when you're going to have a great experience also at BravoCon.
Mm. Well, let's twist that question and see what would you say for a fan advice about a fan approaching you as a Bravo Love, like not like annoyances, but what do you like when people approach you, like how
It's
to
all,
talk to you basically?
I love meeting fans and talking to people.
Okay.
I think the one thing that I like to give a hug first because I think it disarms any kind of maybe nerves on the other side or
Hmm.
uncomfort. So I always try to go in for a hug. Kyle and I are hugged, like even at every Loverboy event to this
Yeah.
day, give every person a hug that comes, generally,
Oh,
if
funny.
they are willing to receive a hug.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, we're regular people. We're idiots, we're characters, we're
Right.
jackasses, we're fuck boys,
Hmm.
but we are regular human people for the most part. So I
Right.
think approach us like you'd approach your sister
Yeah,
or your friend. I mean, yes, we know you know us, but sometimes it's hard because we don't know you. But
right.
that doesn't mean I want to meet you and talk to you. I generally want to know where you're from, how many
Yeah,
seasons you've been watching, who's your favorite character, what's your favorite quote.
Mhm.
Um, but no, I mean, as long the one thing that I will say that happens that I find interesting is when people just take pictures of you from afar and then just like walk away. That for the person on the receiving end is it's a weird feeling. I'm used to
really.
it, but I would rather you just walk up and say, "Hey, do you mind if we get a picture?" And I'd be happy. I will take a picture all day long.
Right.
But it's like standing from afar and like being kind of like you think you're being not friction, they're not causing the issue, but it actually is creating, I don't know, a little bit more uncomfort. It's not
You
that
know,
big, but it's
they
something I
might be
know.
nervous to talk to you, Carl, because you're so close to them.
Well, no, I mean,
That happens.
I will talk to anybody. And what's funny is I'm like that in my real life with
Oh yeah.
anybody. I just was out on the
Yeah.
street like 20 minutes before this. Guy stops me on the street. He's asking about our Sprinter van. I had a 30-minute hangout with a random stranger on the street who doesn't watch Bravo, doesn't care, doesn't know anything about me. But that's me. I talk to
Yeah.
people, I'm very friendly.
That's
So I
cool.
love it's nice when people know who you are because it's like, oh, come on over.
Yeah.
Right. That's cute. I have a couple more questions, but we got people in the waiting room, and so
Bring it.
let's let them in. Okay, we're gonna let in we'll do Sandra, let's do Amanda first. She was in. All right. Let's hope she's ready.
You
Hey
better be.
Amanda.
It looks like it's still connecting.
Yeah, I think it takes a
It
sec to get the
is.
audio.
Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Hey, Amanda,
You're muted.
you have the floor.
You're muted, girl.
I
I
wonder
gotta
if
go
she
and
lost
give
the
someone the Zoom link here. Boop, boop, boop.
Let me message.
Um, well, Amanda, I'm gonna put you on mute for a sec and let someone else in. Hold on. Okay. I'll mute her and we got Valerie coming in. Valerie, hey.
Hey, I think
Oh,
you're on
can't hear
mute.
you.
Oh, we can't hear you.
Do you have a Bluetooth nearby, like headset? That's what happened to me earlier. It connected to my headphones without me knowing.
The
So
AirPods
Yeah.
always pick up. Always.
maybe try. I logged back out and came back in. That might help too.
Lisa, you might
Yeah.
have to unmute them. That's what
Yeah,
she
I
always
don't
said.
think so. Her audio is just not looking good. Um, I can hear her, but let me ask Amanda to. So Valerie dropped. She'll come back.
Yeah.
Valerie is a super Bravo fan, by the way, Carl.
Mm-hmm.
I saw her.
Well,
I was like, oh yeah, she's a super
I'll
fan.
I'll test her super fan knowledge if she wants.
That's right.
So I met her at person in person at the summer house like watch party, the first watch party that they did in the city. And back in the
When was that?
summer, and she was the sweetest ever. She was just
Oh
amazing.
yeah.
What was the watch party thing?
It was for I think it was for the season finale.
Got it. Yeah, they didn't. I was not invited to that. So okay. I was trying to like figure out like what do you. There was
Yeah,
a reason why I was not included.
yeah, I would say that was probably better off. Yeah,
And
because it was that episode.
yeah,
But yeah, no, she's the best and so sweet.
I'm gonna
Valerie, can you
invite
hear us?
Sandra in too. Sorry about that. Tell me, Valerie, did you get your sound on? No. Sandra, can you see if you can talk?
Can you hear me?
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Hi,
Yep.
Lisa.
Hey, so we're just waiting on Amanda and Valerie. They're having some technical difficulties, but
Okay.
well,
Valerie,
we
can you
just thought of
hear
it.
us? You sure you don't have any Bluetooth headphones nearby your computer? Check your output of your audio. Like I don't know if are you on a Mac or a PC? PC?
Yeah.
Hmm.
If you click by the like where it says audio, there's a little up arrow. and it should say like select microphone, and it should be that computer.
How about now?
Yes.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So weird. I was on a Zoom earlier and no issues. So
Here you are.
That's
I
my
hear you're a
world.
huge super fan, Valerie.
yes, I am a huge, huge Bravo fan.
Love it.
Yeah, I see her in all these pictures all the time, super cute, and I always like try to post her pictures from BravoCons because they're fun. So, well, welcome you guys. Go ahead and ask Carl your questions. I just put everybody in at the same time here because we didn't know who would be able to speak. So,
Yeah, fire away.
fire
No,
away.
I guess is off limits. Happy to answer.
Can I go first?
Yes, go
Sure.
ahead.
Hi, Carl. My name is Sandra
Okay.
Kenning. I live in Texas.
Nice to meet you.
And I have two questions for you.
Yeah.
My first question is, how's your mom doing?
Aw, that was really, she's doing really well. She just had her, don't quote me, 72nd birthday
Wow.
right before
Wow.
Thanksgiving. So we
Happy
celebrated
belated.
her birthday. But no, I'm going to see her next week for Christmas. She's doing all right. You know, since my brother passed, she's been taking care of my brother's daughter. So my niece is in full custody of my mom and my stepfather. So she's just a warrior. I mean, she's basically taken on the role
Oh,
of mom for my 16-year-old niece, who's a sweetheart. We love her. She's great. But yeah, my mom's been, she's tired because she's basically taking care of she's always wanted a daughter, and it's really beautiful. She's able to help, but
That's
she's
good.
definitely, I'm looking forward to seeing her to kind of helping out at home for a couple of days.
oh.
Great. Oh, that's great to hear. I'm a mom of two 18-year-old twin girls, so I feel for her.
Well,
Anyway,
she always likes to joke that the first couple seasons of Summer House, when it came on, she threw stuff at the TV because she's like, I don't know that kid.
okay, my second question is, outside of the Summer House group, what other Bravo celebrity do you hang out with the most, if anyone?
Um, I'll say I mean, who I talk to the most, pound for pound, is Sheena. I've always just been really tight with Sheena. I mean, we did kind of have a fling for a little bit.
Oh, I did not know that.
Back to the short-term memory. It's so funny. Like when you've been on Bravo for as long as I have now, like people forget about stuff. Like
Right.
the Sheena Carl thing was like a year worth of like all over the internet, always on Watch What Happens Live, page 6 articles. But long
Oh,
story, we've developed a great friendship. I love Sheena. I love Brock. Brock and I are boys. Those two I probably connect with just the most as far as texting or the occasional get together. And then of course I still text with like Shep and Austin and Craig. I knew Shep. I met Shep before I was ever on like cast on Summer House.
Oh, wow.
really?
We have mutual friends. So I remember meeting Shep in New York in 2015, and he had just been on one season of Southern Charm. And my friends were telling me about this reality TV guy at the bar. And I'm like, this 6'5" guy that won't stop talking, like, and me and Shep got into like a verbal, two tall guys trying to be alpha. We ended up being friends from that night.
How funny.
But yeah, outside of those, I mean, it's interesting. Like we're here in New York, so you have a lot of like people coming to New York for Watch What Happens Live or some other particular, whether it's green screen interviews or press. So you'll occasionally get hit up by people. I saw Brittany, which people started a dating rumor because of that. But I went to see Ariana perform on Broadway
Oh,
for
cool.
Chicago, and one of Ariana's mutual friend invited me and then invited Brittany. So I've hung out with Brittany, I've hung out with Ariana, I've hung out with her boyfriend Daniel.
Yeah.
I don't see them all the time, but no, it's cool when you do.
Cool. Thanks
Question,
for answering.
dude. I'm sorry. Did you share your location with Sheena? That's
I
important.
did. So,
You did. She's got
no, I
60
don't
in
think
her
I
phone.
do. I love Sheena. I will defend her till I die. She is such a sweet, generous person. She's been very, very good to me and my mom. Very
Aw.
kind, very sweet. So big Sheena, and Sheena's mother and my mom have gotten connected because
Oh,
back to short-term memory. My mom and Sheena's mother were guest bartenders on an episode of Watch What Happens Live
Oh, yeah.
in 2019. Sheena and I were the guests in the chair, and our mothers were the bartenders for that show.
huh, funny.
So
So they're
that's
friends now
somewhere on
too.
that was like 2019 that episode aired of Bravo Watch What Happens Live.
Cool.
Interesting.
So,
Cool.
yeah,
Sandra, do you got any other
I think
questions?
who else?
Well, one more. Is that where you met Sheena to start hanging out at the Watch What Happens Live?
Oh no. So I was also the first episode of Summer House is a Vanderpump Rules episode.
Right, right. I
So
remember.
that's when I met, if you've seen that episode, Sheena, Stassi, Katie, and Kristen, the four girls come to the Hamptons and meet Kyle, Carl, Lindsay, and the original season 1 group.
Gotcha.
So that's when I first met Sheena, was it was 2016, the summer of 2016. I have photos of Sheena, Katie, Kristen, Stassi. It was July of 2016. We were in the Hamptons together filming that particular.
I love that episode too. I love the mashup when they go from one show to another.
Yeah.
That's really
That's
fun.
how they did it for Vanderpump with Beverly Hills. You were watching Beverly Hills, and then you were basically all of a sudden inside of SUR and meeting her staff and her
Right.
employee. But the whole concept was Stassi was going to the Hamptons because she was single and it was her birthday, and she was going to hang
funny.
out with her friends in New York, and we were the friends in New York.
Yeah, that was fun. That was exciting. I loved it. I wish they did that mashup down in Southern Charm with Leva's restaurant. That would have been cool
Oh, yeah.
introduction. That would have been perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't know who makes those calls or how that actually
I know. I was
transpires.
just thinking of it.
I was so lucky. I mean, we're so lucky, but I'll be completely honest. When I showed up 2016, I knew Kyle, I knew, Everett, the twins, I knew Lindsay a little bit. I was told that these group of girls was coming from LA. I had no idea who they were. None. They came on,
Wow.
they walked in, and I was like, oh, they're waitresses at a bar? Whatever. This is early Carl, so
Right. Girl.
I had no idea that they were even, like, I didn't know what Vanderpump Rules was. I had heard about
Wow.
it. I filmed that whole first weekend. I had no clue who Sheena Shea or Stassi Schroeder, none, other than they were just these girls from LA.
Wow.
That's crazy. Well, that's a good little story.
Yeah.
I'll share that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is 10 years ago.
Can you believe it? It doesn't
Yeah.
seem like that long. Not to
No.
me as a viewer, but I'm
10
sure you've
years.
lived it.
So
So
that's June of 2016 is when I walked on the set of the first season of Summer House and when it all began.
Wow.
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 So,
Yeah, it seems like so long ago too. And now we're all adults now. Back then I felt like a kid and I was it was like all
yeah, I mean,
fresh.
it took some time for us to get our traction, I would say. I mean, I'm still, just feel very lucky and grateful that, we've been able to come back. I mean, we're not the most popular show. We're certainly not, our ratings aren't anywhere near other, shows on Bravo, but I think we've tapped into something kind of cool and unique that I think is aspirational and a little bit more relatable maybe than, and this is no
Oh, it
shade at
is.
the housewives or any of that, but
Yeah.
I'm not a rich kid. I don't come from tons of money, and neither does Kyle, and neither does Lindsay. And we worked really hard and like to party really hard, and certainly been very lucky with how long this has continued to go. I mean, I'm hoping we have another season, because if we get to season 10, we will be on TV as long as Friends would
wow.
be, and I think
Wow.
that would be a really cool moment.
Yeah, it would. Yeah. Geez, I never thought about that. That would be 10 years.
Wow.
Oh,
Friends is
man.
only 10 seasons, so if we can outlast Friends as real friends, then I'm down.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he had two sub shows out of it, or Winter House too.
True.
Hmm. Yeah. Valerie, do you want to go ahead with your question?
Sure. So I'm
Okay.
back from Long Island.
Where,
So I appreciate
whereabouts?
that. I'm in Nassau County, but still the Hamptons are really great. Don't get to visit as
Nothing
much
wrong
as
with Nassau.
I know. So thank you, first of all, for sharing your life with us all these years since 2016. It's really been really wonderful to watch your journey and your sobriety journey, and just so appreciative And so my question for you is, who was the nicest housewife that you met at BravoCon over the years?
Great question. Great
There's so many
question.
to pick from.
I'm gonna say there's two that come to mind, and I don't know why. It was just it was really epic and amazingly funny. So last year on my way to Las Vegas for BravoCon, I was at the Delta Lounge at JFK in New York, flying out. I had like a 7 a.m. flight. I was in the Delta Lounge at 5:30 a.m. in the morning, sitting there I was by myself. I was single at this time, and I feel a tap on my shoulder, and I turn, and it's Dorinda.
Yeah.
She's like,
Aw.
and I was like by myself, like not hiding, but just like alone. She's
Yeah.
like, "What are you doing over here? Get over here." So I go hang out with Dorinda, and it was Jen Fessler from Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Oh, how fun.
And her husband were there, and then Dorinda and one of her, I think, friends. And we just had
Well,
this like 5:30 in the morning, like, I don't know, like we were all sober, but everybody's just like the banter, and Dorinda's unbelievably funny.
Mhm.
I've always thought she was, amazing television, but certainly has her ups and downs.
yeah.
But I've developed a little bit of a friendship with Dorinda. So I would say
Nice.
that was a surprise how friendly and kind those ladies were in that particular moment. Because again, I was
Right.
going to BravoCon and kind of thinking, everybody was going to throw stuff at me. So it was just nice to have an OG and a new housewife kind of go, "Come on, Carl, just come over here, hang with us." And I'll never forget that for the rest of my life because they were just so cool to me.
That's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, I bet you guys kind of feel like in the airport, just side stories like no one knows who we are in this airport, but we know who we are, and then we're on this thing, and you get spotted, but those other people in the airport don't know who you are because they don't watch Bravo.
It's always a weird game because, like, yes, a fair amount of people are familiar with who we are,
Yeah.
and it's the people that aren't familiar that there's like this kind of tension that happens, and it happens to me a lot where I'm out somewhere publicly, and people will be, "Oh my God, that's that guy," blah blah, and the people that aren't familiar, they'll come up to me and be like, "I don't know who you are. Who are you?" Like, who does that to someone?
Right.
You could say, "Hi, I'm blah blah blah. What's your name?"
Mhm.
But it happens to me probably every other night I'm out socially.
Wow.
A group of people, some of them know, the others don't, but it's the others that don't that are like, "Well, I don't know who this guy is. Like, why don't I know him?"
They just want to be included.
And I'm like, they'll come up to me and be like, "I don't know who you are." I'm like, "I don't know who you are either."
You're even.
So
Yeah.
Even.
it's just part of the deal. We sign up for it. Once it stops, trust me, I'll probably be like crying deep down inside.
You'll miss it.
I'll miss it.
That's cute. Valerie, you got any other questions, or is that it?
I
I have a
think
question for Valerie.
do you?
What's your favorite show on Bravo all time, and what's your favorite Bravo show in the last year?
So that's a really tough question. I mean, I do love Summer House. And then
Yeah,
I
no hard feelings. If you don't want to say,
Salt Lake City is just so good.
great.
I don't know if you watch any of the Housewife shows, but
I
and there's
was I know Salt Lake because I actually got to meet Meredith and Seth last year at Sundance. And I also, I met Monica previously. I know Heather. I've never met Angie, and I've never met, I think the new is it Brittany is her name? Bethany?
Bronwyn.
Yeah, there's Brittany and Bronwyn.
Brittany and Bronwyn. Yes, I have not met those two, but they're bringing it and awesome. So yeah, Salt Lake's great. But what about, so that's all time or that's currently?
I guess currently, but old school New York City was amazing. So that might be like my all-time favorite.
Good choices.
Hard to top
How,
that.
how do you feel about the new Real Housewives of New York?
Mixed feelings. Sometimes I'm enjoying it, sometimes I'm like iffy on it, but of course I'm still watching it. So
Yeah. No,
yeah.
I've been trying to see. I haven't seen any of it really, other than just what flashes up.
Right.
Yeah, I miss the OG version just because that's
Yeah.
what it started out as, I guess. But I haven't. It's funny. We don't really. I know some of our group has linked up with some of the newer cast. At BravoCon last year was the first time I met some of them, but didn't really have a lot of interactions overall.
Yeah. Yeah, Miami, there was a small group from all the summer house and from Salt Lake and New York rather, and Salt Lake actually. So it was they probably all kind of bonded a little bit down there because it was a smaller event.
Mhm.
And so I bet Kyle was there, and I bet he met tons of the other people that were like, because they were in their little back room area, whatever.
But I think
It's very small.
that's why I was jealous I didn't get the invitation to Miami because you get to meet all the other folks too, and you get to like
Yeah.
bond, and
Yeah.
it would have been cool to do that. But I get it. It was not a full BravoCon. It was more of a kind of a
Benny.
smaller gathering, and
Yeah.
we spent, I think, our best possible group you could have from Summer House. So it wasn't like we had some bad representation. We had great
No.
representation.
Yeah. I don't remember who was there. Kyle and
Kyle, Amanda, Jesse, and Sierra.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yep. Hmm.
yeah. And I didn't see anybody but Kyle. So
Oh,
it's kind of like weird. It's small, but yet you know what? I hung out in the back where the golf carts were because I could smoke.
yeah,
And the
you did.
bathrooms were there.
Yep.
So little did I know when I'm out smoking or going to the bathroom, I'm seeing these Bravo libs on the golf cart and they're happy to stop
Hmm.
and take pictures. So I just hung out there and with a cocktail.
Yeah, you had
It
a
was
good
fun.
spot. Hmm.
Yeah, it was fun. It was totally fun. All right, Amanda, your turn. You
Can you hear
ready?
me?
Yes.
Yes,
Hi,
finally.
Amanda.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Where are we catching you from in the world?
I live in Atlanta.
ATL. I have family in Alpharetta,
Hmm.
just north. My cousins went to Blessed Trinity High School.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I'm actually in Marietta, so not too far. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I always when someone says Atlanta, I have to say Alpharetta just because it's my uncle and my aunt, and I've been down there a fair amount of time.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice over there.
It is. It's funny. I need to go back down there. Kyle and I were supposed to do a Loverboy event in Atlanta at one point, and it got canceled because of there was another situation. But I still haven't been back to Atlanta in quite some time. So
Well, hopefully you can make it and then blast it on your social and I'll be there.
maybe Kira will take me down and we'll visit her family.
Yeah. I have a quick comment before my question.
Sure.
I just want to say I'm proud of you for using your celebrity for good and going to make speaking engagements about addiction and mental health. So thank you for that.
Thanks. My dad has challenged me. My dad and I have a great relationship again. We've worked through a lot of stuff and obviously still very, very close to my mother, but my dad has always challenged me. He's like, use your powers for good. And I've seen obviously other athletes or public figures, and I've always really respected those that share or try to help other people. And it's in my blood to be this way, but I just can't believe I'm so lucky to be able to share and potentially help other people. I'm still blown away that I've made any impact on anyone. I really struggle with that imposter feeling. But I get messages a lot that say to you what you just said. So thank you. Just people have been very, very kind and shared those kinds of words with me, which makes me feel really good. So I appreciate it. But sometimes I'm just still blown away that I've impacted people. And I'll give you a random example and then I'll let you ask your question. But I was getting off the subway near Rockefeller Center, actually. This is like a couple months ago. And I was headphones in, I was just very focused on getting to where I was going. And a girl, like, I'm getting off of the subway, I'm walking up the steps, and this girl like walks past me, and you could I can tell when someone knows it's me. And she like stops and turns. She's like, Carl. And I took my headphones off. She came up and hugged me, and she's like, you're the reason I'm sober. And like basically like had this like moment where she was like so almost overwhelmed by seeing me, but she was dead serious. She's like, you're like, I watched you and I saw what you talked about, and it helped me make that next step. And I've been sober, I forget how long she said, maybe a year at that point.
Wow.
And I walked out of that subway station after she left, and I'm just like,
Oh, I bet.
I mean, I like wanted to cry because I'm like,
Amazing.
how did that? I apologize, I got some rain coming in. But like, how did that even happen? But it's just keep promoting, sharing my story. I'm not a doctor, I'm not an expert, but thank you for
Right.
saying it. So
Oh,
what question you got for me?
I noticed on your social media last year that you were involved with a movie And I was wondering if you could tell us more about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I went to Syracuse University. I studied television, radio, and film. So when I was actually in high school, the high school that I went to had like a TV station inside of our, we did the morning announcements, or if the soccer team had a Wednesday night soccer game, I might do the announcing, not like in the stadium, but we'd like record the game and then announce the game that would air later. So I always wanted to be like with a camera and a mic.
Right.
What I thought I was going to do is be a like ESPN broadcast anchor. I love sports. So I chose Syracuse because of their communications program and their television, radio, film school. But when I got there, I realized very quickly that I will never be on like ESPN, just because the level of talent that attends was very, very competitive. So I also love to be creative. I like screenwriting. I like production and putting ideas together. So I switched from the broadcast journalism into more of like production and screenwriting, and also then acting and like performing. I just wanted to get more comfortable, like being in front of people. Believe it or not, I couldn't get up in front of a group of 20 people without sweating and shaking profusely. And now I get up in front of 1,000, no problem.
Right.
So, yeah, Syracuse kind of was a crash course in some of the TV part of it. But that's why I chose, to go to there. But yeah, I actually just forgot what your question was off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Your movie that you were a part of last year.
Yes. So there's a reason I brought up Syracuse, which is because my program at school has a really large alumni association. So when you graduate from Syracuse from the television, radio, film program, a lot of times you can move to LA or New York, but there's groups you can tap into. Like, hey, this guy works at ABC, or this guy works at a movie. Two guys that I have known for the last 15 years, I didn't go to Syracuse at the same time. They're established movie and film producers in LA. However, they love watching Bravo. So I've kept in touch, remain good friends. And I've had a passion for creating, documentaries or short films. So I produced a short film. I got involved with a documentary. But because of those involvements, this group of Syracuse guys sent me a script. And this is almost 3.5. I mean, I was with Lindsay. I read the script next to Lindsay on an airplane. And it was just something I was just connected to. It was a romantic story. It had a little bit of drama. It had some kind of really cool threads of it that I loved, which is, how I used to burn a CD for someone you used to like, or burn a tape. Part of the film was like they passed a tape back and forth to each other that had their favorite songs from when they dated in high school. And I connected with the script. I got back in touch with my Syracuse friends, and ultimately I contributed money, but I also was on set for the film. I actually held some cameras at some times. But my role was really, I bring another level of awareness to the project. Was I sitting in the script and going, I don't know, man, we need to like change the lighting? No, I wasn't doing that. But the film is called A Love Like This. I'll put the, actually, while we're talking, I'll put the article from Deadline, which is like an industry trade about the film, and it, shows all the information there. So I'll put that in the chat for you guys.
I'll check it out for sure.
And this is, so I'm executive producer. We have, if you've ever seen the show Entourage, which was on HBO.
Yep.
Sloane, who, very attractive woman. She was one of the lead women on Entourage. She's my lead actress. And then
Oh, wow.
Hayes MacArthur is the male lead. He's been in Super Troopers. His brother was in the Jennifer Lawrence No Hard Feelings movie, which was filmed in Montauk.
Wow.
But that's the film I produced and is going to be coming. I actually am on email with my producer team. I hope by spring next year. It was supposed to be already out, but with film and it was the SAG strike.
Yeah.
That's long-winded.
You're a serial entrepreneur there, Carl.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, this is passion. I love good art. I love good words and writing. And I'm really proud of this film. It's a really good romantic comedy. It takes place in Malibu, California. Beautiful backdrops. We shot it very economically because our director is actually from Malibu. So he got
Oh,
some favor.
nice.
We filmed on
Yeah.
the Malibu Pier.
Cool.
Really
Cool.
cool. So more to come on that. I hope it will be like a wider release, or you would actually be
Right.
able to, you could see it on Netflix, Hulu, or something like that. That's what we're working towards.
I
Awesome.
tried to watch it here, but it was on the Zoom and it started flaking, so I closed the window. It must have a video on it. So I was like, I can't ruin my internet. All right. Well, you know what? We're at the hour mark, Carl. Great to interview. It wasn't even an interview. It was like just conversation, having a nice
Just hanging out
chat.
with my three best friends or four best
I
friends.
know. That's so great. Oh man. Yeah, this is our first one. I know the girls have seen us do other ones. But this was kind of this is our how we want to do it is have people join and we can just freestyle talk and make it like a fun get to know you hour. And I think we certainly did. It was
Yeah, I mean, I'm
very,
happy to answer any of their questions. I can talk, obviously, and I don't mind talking. So
we can too. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
have you back for a little recap after all the soft bar stuff and you could
Yeah.
tell us stories and
yeah,
because I
well, I'll have
know
to invite all of you in whenever you get a chance to be in Brooklyn. I'll have
well
you
I
in the
tell
That
space.
sounds
Bravo to ship us there first and then we'll go. But actually, I'm planning on coming out to New York again. I want to try to find a few events at one time so I can do a bunch of things at one time. So just give me and Jamie a heads up on that and we'll spread the word and have a little meetup for you guys and help cheerlead your bar.
Yeah,
That's so exciting.
Carl, don't threaten us with a good time. We'll show up. We'll
Oh,
Yeah.
support you.
we
We
would love to
do.
have you. We'd love to have
People
you.
do travel, Carl, in our group for
Yeah.
big stuff. They'll come get the hotel, they fly, they want to do it all. So
Yeah.
Well, maybe
let
we
us know.
just when the official opening happens at our location, which is hopefully May 1st, we're going to probably do we're going to do a party or some event. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like just yet, but maybe I can circulate an invitation to that if you guys were around.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
May is perfect too, because people want to get on trips at that point, get antsy, and the
Yeah.
weather should be good.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it's I think May 1st is what we're aiming, but
Okay.
construction and I mean, like I said, I'm sitting in our little,
Right.
I'll give you a little random preview.
Ah,
Yay.
cute.
So this is our office, but this is like our merch right now at the moment. And then this is like our little test kitchen.
Oh, cute.
Cool.
Then I'm gonna blow you away right now because I'm upstairs. This is our actual space.
Oh, wow.
There's a
That's
big
really
garage.
Nice.
So that garage is gonna be turned into glass.
It's
And we're
cool.
gonna turn this whole thing into a cool bar and cafe.
Awesome.
Nice. Oh, we look forward to it. Yeah, I need
Yeah.
a trip anyway. So awesome. Well, Carl, thank you for coming. We're going to get this
Yeah.
out tonight or tomorrow, and then I'll send you the YouTube link so you can do anything you want, and then I'll do some promo stuff. And anytime I do, I'll just send you an email real quick, but I won't bug you too much.
Make sure you loop in on my assistant Abby. She just keeps
Yeah, well,
me organized. I get a lot of stuff coming
oh,
at me. So.
sure.
Yeah.
She did a great job, by the way. So
No,
Yeah.
she's so helpful. Like she literally will remind me like to brush my teeth. Like I have so much on.
she's great.
She's really sweet. She's a sweet lady and I love working with her. So yeah, if any stuff you can just copy her on it or me, just so
Will do.
she's
Yep,
Yeah.
she's really fast and attentive. I'm an email expert, so I love people like that.
well, is there anything else? Last call, questions, anything?
I don't know, you guys. You got anything
I have a
else?
question.
Oh,
Go
Did you
for
see
it.
the new trailer for Summer House?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Exciting. Very exciting.
Val, did you see it?
Actually, I don't think I did. I don't know how I missed that.
Yeah, I was saying you weren't confirming with your facial expressions like you
I
thought.
don't remember.
No, you'd remember it just came out about 4 hours ago today.
My gosh, I don't know how I missed that. I guess
Yeah.
work got
I
in the
will
way.
say in Miami, I was picking up on Sierra and Jesse vibes, and in that preview when they were like mentioning Sierra and Jesse, I was like, oh, interesting.
I mean, I don't want to give too much away, but
Ooh.
it's going to go a different direction. And I
Sure.
will say it's a little challenging to watch the trailer when certain topics are basically framed that are I think you'll
You
understand.
know the ending.
Yep.
I know,
I mean,
and I know the truth. I know the truth and the reality of what happened. So
I do love that
So
there's a
great.
scene of Kyle fighting with somebody in eye makeup. I think that's just amazing.
it
Always.
wouldn't be Summer House without some ridiculous fight in a costume.
Yep. And it's usually Kyle wearing eyeliner or something. So,
Classic.
Guy liner.
yep.
My favorite parts of
Cute.
Summer House.
There's some
Costume
there's
parties.
some good theme parties.
I
Yeah.
know
I know.
we're running long, but you said we could ask. Somebody had asked, I think, like, what was your favorite theme party that y'all ever threw?
Yeah.
Do you have one that off the top of your head?
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, it's always going to be season 2, Kyle's birthday party, which was a protest to growing up. He threw a tea party, a Boston tea party,
Oh yeah.
and we had a pirate ship, and we had loose leaf bagged, like a big burlap of tea
Mm-hmm.
that throughout the party at one point, Kyle drunkenly poured the tea loose into the pool that was heated.
Oh my
Fast forward
It
about
made
4
tea.
hours, we basically brewed a big pot of tea in our pool.
God.
And the next day, the homeowner came over because we broke the pool. Not only was the filtration system destroyed, but think about like when you drink a cup of coffee or a cup of tea when it leaves like a little stain on
Yeah. Oh my God.
the inside of the pool walls were completely stained and had to be drained and then repainted. We cost almost $20,000 in damage to the pool.
Oh my
I'm not kidding. It was not
Watch
good.
that. I'll rewatch that episode now.
It was really bad. Like the homeowner was not pleased. Kyle felt really bad. I didn't actually pour the tea in the pool, but Kyle didn't remember doing it. But there is footage of him doing it, which is actually epic.
It's
So that was my favorite party. I'd say number 2. Last year, my Hamptons 500 party that I hosted. I'm not gonna lie, I just thought it was the little mini cars, just
That was a
the
good one.
outfits. I had a real Corvette that I got from the Indy 500 that was in the backyard. I bought these cool go-karts. I just thought it was a fun theme that, F1's very popular,
Yep.
racing has gotten very popular again. So it just seemed like a good theme. So I like that one. But Lindsay's fairy tale birthday party was insane.
I
Yeah.
remember that one. That was fun.
There's 2 good parties this coming season that I think might be our best parties of all time.
Ooh.
Truth be told, Carl, I didn't watch Summer House for a long time. I just didn't. I felt like I was too old for it. And then
Never too old.
but then I think after season 5, someone was like, "You got to watch Winter House," and I think I forgot somebody was on it that I knew. Maybe Craig. Maybe Craig was on it.
Yeah, Craig and
So,
Austin were on the first season of Winter
yeah.
House.
So I watched that because Craig was on it, and then after that, I literally binged Summer House straight through, and everybody in the group was like, "I'm so jealous," because they couldn't binge it. They had to watch it every season, and I binged it in like a month and a half, and I just got Summer Housed like totally, and I was like, "Oh my God." I'm glad I waited, but then I'm sad I waited. But I was like, now I'm caught up, and now I have to wait with everybody else. So that was during COVID, I think, maybe, or whenever Winter House came out.
I feel like a fair amount of people, that's when people really got adjusted or learned more about it,
Oh yeah.
It's
I gotta tell you,
I love when people tell me they've watched like 8 years of my life in like 3 weeks.
yeah, that was me. And those twins, I swear to God, I know I don't because I wasn't part of it when it came out, but those 2 girls just cracked me up so much. I miss
Listen,
those days.
they were a ton of fun. I'm still friends with Ashley. Now, Lauren, they're both married and have kids. They've moved on. Ashley and I are still friendly. Lauren and I don't speak, but that's fine. Whatever. But I love them deep down. I know people have their opinions, but they were a lot of fun. Like that was like a real group of friends that first season and the second season. Like we actually were all like, I was probably more of the outsider, quite frankly, because I was friends with Kyle and Everett, but I didn't know the girls as well as they did.
Yeah.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's been an interesting journey, not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, your journey we've all had memories with. It's kind of like our lives too. When we watch you guys, it's like we have those memories too of the shows and
Well, I was going
what
to say,
everybody
Lisa,
went
I'm
through.
sure at some point in your life you had some fun in a group house with some friends, or maybe did a
Yes.
group trip somewhere. So maybe
From
there's some
our
related.
BravoCon group.
Well, maybe there's some relatability, and just seeing
Oh
us
yeah.
do stupid things.
Oh, I remember those first years ones. Yeah, those are fun. But
Yep.
yeah, our BravoCon group, we've done our last trip was the LA trip, and we for 4 days were in Sprinter vans. 3 days, Sprinter vans. We hit all the themes. We all bonded. It could have been a TV show with all the little fun stuff, and we
Yep.
did. So that's why we all became friends after that, and we have the memories. So it's kind of like our own little reality TV trip of
I love it.
sorts.
We should get Andy and a camera for your crew.
I got Andy to
Yeah.
sign to see my book. I gave him the book, and
Yep.
that was my goal in Miami. So yeah, that was a lot. But all right, you guys, you got anything else for Carl? Maybe we'll have you back, Carl, and for
Yeah,
a little
if you
soft.
guys will have me back, we'll see. I'm sure I'll
Absolutely.
be voted
Oh,
off
we
the island.
will. You just join our group and just yeah. I know you're on Facebook. I saw your account.
Be careful. There's some spammers out there, but I am on Facebook. There's
I know. Like, don't worry, I already snooped. Yeah. But we have some Bravo Libs in our group, and they just like seeing what's going on in there because it's a fan club. So you're more than welcome to join if you want.
appreciate that.
Just the BravoCon group. All right, you guys. Thank you, Carl. I'm gonna close the show here.
Great.
Leave some comments below on YouTube and like this video, and we will either see you in our next show, Carl, or BravoCon next year.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Thank you for having
Merry
me.
Christmas.
This is fun.